Hey everybody, welcome back to the Eerie cast. My name is James. With me is Chris.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Are you eating right now? Eating right now?
Finished. Just finished.
Mm. And today we're watching Top Fives, 5 Scary and Strange True Horror Stories, Footage, and Encounters, Volume 19. I think this just came out
Okay.
like yesterday, I think.
Okay. All right. Let's go for it.
This one is so horrific that it's hard to even believe that anyone could have allowed it to happen. Welcome back to the Creepy Marathon Month. You should know the drill by now. Hit those lights, sit back, and enjoy.
I turn my lights off?
Oh, shit.
Creepy Face. Let's start off with a story that was featured on the Travel Channel, and if true, is one of the creepiest things we've ever seen. Corey had been experiencing some strange occurrences in his home and decided to start filming. One day, while he was home alone, he noticed the light in the fridge flickering. At first he didn't think much of it, but soon the bathroom light began flickering as well, and he soon realized that the taps had also turned on. Take a look.
What freaked me out was the light in the bathroom started flickering, and I heard water running.
Flickering.
So I kind of snuck around the corner, and the water was on. As I started to walk away from the bathroom after cutting the water off, I kind of heard something behind me, and that was actually this door here that closed. That's when I really, truly got freaked out.
Corey walks outside and calls his girlfriend, who tells him to stay out of the house, but he tells her that he wants to keep filming, so he goes back inside and finds his kitchen trashed. Take a look at this.
That's weird.
He finds the kitchen in total disarray.
All the chairs were on the floor, knocked over, all the cabinets were open. Nope.
After discovering his home in disarray, Corey goes back outside and doesn't re-enter for another 2 hours. When he finally returns, he conducts a thorough search of the house to see if anyone is inside. After checking all of the rooms, he finds no one. However, after reviewing the footage he recorded, he notices something terrifying in the doorframe of his daughter's bedroom. Take a look.
I noticed
On
something
his
in the
door?
corner of the room, which is actually my daughter's room. So I screenshotted it, and I just zoomed in on it.
Oh shit.
My heart just dropped.
Oh,
I could
shit.
feel my face, all the blood in my face ran. I mean, it scared me. It just looked like
Ugh.
somebody watching.
Ugh. I feel like it's staring
What
into
on
my
earth was
soul.
that? Experts
The
featured on the
fuck?
show suggested that a poltergeist had infested Corey's property and believed that the house needed to be exorcised. Commenters on the video shared their own experiences with poltergeist activity in their homes.
What
and
show
advised
is this on
Corey to
Travel
pray
Channel,
over
I
his
wonder?
property. Others
Yeah, I
were more
never heard of it.
skeptical, questioning why he would re-enter the house alone without calling the police. How would you react if you found that in a doorway in your home? I'd love to know your thoughts on this one. Farm Boy.
Farm boy.
This photograph was taken at a farm in Herefordshire, England in 2008 by photographer and graphic designer Neil Sandbach. It was to be used on a wedding invite for his friend's upcoming wedding, which was to be held at the venue. At first glance, it looks innocent enough. However, when Neil later opened the file in Photoshop to tidy it up, he noticed a white figure in the distance on the right. When he zoomed in, this is what he saw.
Ooh.
A fuck, a ghost?
Uh-huh.
Initially, he didn't think it was anything supernatural, but after the wedding couple asked staff at the venue if the place was haunted, they told them that for years they had been plagued by the spooky apparition of a young ghost boy dressed in white nightclothes who was always spotted close to the main barn. Pretty creepy.
The fuck?
Now, we don't have any more information on the building itself, but it would be awesome if anyone lives nearby. And
Where
would
is
be
it in the...
interested
Oh,
in
okay,
doing
it's on
an
the far right
investigation.
side in the picture.
Yeah,
Looking over
it's
the
all the
left.
way in the...
Oh, weird. Some random kid
Yeah,
dressed
definitely.
in all white?
The Japanese paraquat killer. Now let's take a slight detour from the supernatural
What's a paraquat?
to talk about a truly disturbing
I don't know.
unsolved Japanese mystery. In Japan, Vending machines are found on every corner street, selling everything from drinks to bread, shirts, and even whiskey. But this convenient way of
I
purchasing
kind of like
food
that
and
about
drink
Japan,
let a
that
chilling
there's
opening
vending
for a
machines
sadistic
everywhere,
killer to
you know?
take
Yeah.
advantage.
Like you could
Between
walk
April
around
and
anywhere
November
and you'll know you'll find a
1985,
vending
An
machine.
invisible predator stalked the streets of Japan, deliberately lacing bottles of soft drinks and energy drinks with herbicides and placing them in and around vending machines. Unsuspecting victims picked up these tainted drinks, believing they were either part of a promotional giveaway or simply abandoned, and consumed them.
Huh.
As a result, at least 13 people were killed, and 35 others fell seriously ill,
Damn.
making the incident one of the deadliest cases of product tampering in history. The first known victim was a man in Fukuyama, Hiroshima Prefecture, who drank a bottle of Oranamin C that had been placed on a vending
What
machine
the
on
hell?
April 30th, 1985. The bottle had been poisoned with paraquat dichloride, a highly toxic herbicide that was widely available in Japan at the time.
Huh.
Paraquat could be purchased without identification, and although
Hmm.
buyers were supposed to show agricultural need, its easy availability contributed to its use in both suicides and homicides. At the time of the murders, Otsuka Pharmaceutical, the manufacturer of Oraman C, was running a buy one get one free promotion to boost sales. The perpetrator exploited this campaign by placing poisoned bottles near vending machines, making them appear to be part of the offer. Many of
Huh.
the targeted drinks were Oranman C and Real Gold, although Coca-Cola was also involved in some cases. In one instance, diquat, a chemical related to paraquat, was used instead. Victims included a 44-year-old executive who died weeks after drinking 2 tainted vitamin beverages, and a
Jeez.
52-year-old man in Tokyo
Oh, that's
who
crazy.
succumbed less than 3 days after
They
consuming
love
a
their free
poisoned
shit,
bottle.
huh?
The killings
Yeah.
continued sporadically until November, with no clear pattern in the choice of victims. The poisonings were indiscriminate, making it difficult for investigators to find a motive. No extortion demands were made, and Otsuka Pharmaceutical and Coca-Cola reported no threats. Surveillance footage and the bottles themselves provided no useful evidence. Authorities considered that a single person could be responsible, but copycat incidents were also possible. As public fear grew, the National Police Agency launched a campaign in late September to prevent further poisonings. Consumers were urged to inspect bottles carefully, vending machine operators were instructed to check stock rigorously, and retailers were asked to monitor the sale of toxic chemicals, and the Japanese Soft Drink Bottles Association issued millions of warning stickers for vending machines. Unsurprisingly, public confidence in vending machines and bottled beverages was seriously impacted. To date, the paraquat murders remain unsolved, but since Japan abolished the statute of limitations for murder in 2010, the case could still be prosecuted if new evidence arises.
It's crazy how Japan has
So
like
think twice if you see an
so many
extra
different
bottle
like
in your vending
drinks
machine tray.
with different
Yeah.
You
brands
never
and
know how it got there.
like you don't even know what the hell it tastes until you actually taste what the hell.
Very cool.
Yeah, I like that. Japan, I think, is the only place really like that extreme.
Graveyard Ghost. Let's head back to the supernatural for this one. It takes us to Todmorden in West Yorkshire in the UK, which is better known for UFO sightings than ghosts.
Huh.
However, this image was captured in Todmorden Unitarian Churchyard, and it appears to show the spirit of a long-dead woman who was buried there.
The alien
It was
ghost.
snapped by a group of ghost hunters who were exploring the graveyard in
Yeah.
October 2018. The team say their electric energy meters were going haywire, and they were drawn to the grave of Sarah Agnes, who died aged 50 in 1927. One of the group, a guy named Rob Crabtree, took the photograph and was shocked at the images he caught.
Ooh. Very cool looking. Oh shit. I'm pause it.
Yeah, it's like a ghost.
Yeah, it looks like the lady's
Yeah.
screaming.
Huh. She has something on the top of her head.
Yeah, it looks like a bonnet or something. Kind of
From
bonnet.
that.
And then she looks like she's holding something in her hand. It looks like she's screaming to me. Holy crap, dude. That's weird.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be her grave right here?
It
Loving
could be, yeah.
memory of Elizabeth Alice.
That's what it looks like.
Huh.
Scary, scary.
The mist appears to take the shape of a woman hovering over her grave. It's important to note that when the photo was taken, the night was clear and there was no fog or mist in the air. The gravestone revealed that 3 people are buried in the plot, with 2 women believed to be the wives of a man named James Davenport. The ghost hunters suspect that the spirit belongs to the older woman, Sarah Agnes, since the other wife was only 27 years old at the time of her death, and they believe that the image depicts an older woman. At the time the photograph was taken, none of the group noticed the mist. The only unusual occurrence was the erratic energy meters and a feeling that someone was watching them. What do you make of this one? Is this proof of the paranormal, or is there a more plausible explanation?
I mean, fake or not, that's pretty dang cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, for our final entry, we're going to once again take a trip away from the paranormal to talk about something truly terrifying.
Oh
It's
no,
the
is this
death
the
of Hashi Auchi.
the
This
Japanese
one
guy?
is so horrific that it's hard to even believe that anyone could have allowed it to happen.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty sad what happened to him.
The death of Hisashi Auchi is considered to be one of the most horrendous in modern history, and his story exposes the lengths that Japanese medical experts were prepared to go in order to keep a man alive as some sort of inhumane experiment. It all started on September 30th, 1999, when Hisashi Auchi went to work as normal at the Tokamura nuclear plant in Japan. Hisashi worked as a technician in a uranium processing plant operated by JCO. Hisashi and his 2 colleagues, Masato Shinohara and Yutaka Yokohawa, were asked to prepare a small batch of reactor fuel. It wasn't a process they were familiar with, as it was the first time in 3 years that JCO had requested this, meaning no proper qualifications or training requirements were in place. Furthermore, the technicians were under pressure to complete the task to meet shipping requirements. As a result,
You know what's funny about this? I've always heard 2 stories. One is that Ouchie was just screwing around. Like he was just like messing around, like not really paying attention what he was doing. And then the other one is that like, oh yeah, like horrifically the whole company they didn't teach him how to do it correctly, and they didn't care, and they just wanted it done, and blah 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 blah. So I don't know what's true though.
So, but for sure he did died, and he died.
Oh yeah, it took him forever to die though. That's the horrible part of it. Well, I mean we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn.
Catastrophic error was made.
I'm sure we've already maybe covered
To
something like
purify
this
the
on here.
reactor fuel, workers were supposed to use an automatic pump to mix up to 2.4 kilograms of enriched uranium with nitric acid. Instead, they manually used a stainless steel bucket and mixed 16 kilograms of uranium by mistake. The incorrect measurement of high purity enriched uranium oxide mixed with nitric acid
Also, basically, it landed on him then.
fission chain reaction that released intense gamma and neutron radiation. The technicians first realized something was wrong. A blue flash that triggered the gamma radiation alarms. Auchi was the nearest to the precipitation tank, while his colleague Shinohara was standing on a nearby platform, and Yokohawa was sitting at a desk 4 meters away. Almost immediately after the leak, Auchi and Shinohara experienced pain, nausea, and breathing difficulties. And Auchi, who had received the most significant radiation exposure, had problems with mobility and coherence, eventually losing consciousness. A worker in the next building realized the severity of the incident and called for emergency medical assistance, and all 3 men were taken to hospital. The plant was evacuated, and the next morning experts were able to end the nuclear chain reaction by draining water from the surrounding cooling jacket installed on the precipitation tank, and adding a boric acid solution to the tank to reduce all contents to subcritical levels.
Was it?
Oh wow, so it was
The
still
aftermath of the
having a
accident
fucking
was linked to
reaction.
remote-
That's crazy.
I feel like those type of jobs are very risky, in my opinion. Like those type of people that work in those environments, you're always kind of
I don't
you know,
know. Here's my
you're
thing,
exposing
okay?
yourself. You're exposing
Yeah,
yourself to a bunch of shit.
I think I I don't know. The way that they're like doing it, it doesn't sound right. Like, oh here, put some radioactive material into a bucket and put it into the machine. Like what? Like who the hell? Like why would they ever do a process like that in an open air like office? Like they made it seem like it's like just a normal thing. Like, oh yeah, here, let me put some water in here. Let me throw a bit of like radioactive material in there. Let me just stir it up with my
What
little stir
what year did
stick.
it what year did this happen
He
in the
said
beginning?
1999, but I kind of feel like it happened earlier
Okay.
than that. But I don't know.
1999. Okay,
I
so
thought it
that's like
happened in
what,
like
30
94 or
years.
96, but it's stuff like this that like because like people say like, oh yeah, nuclear energy is so scary and da 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 da, but really it's like super efficient. It's like, whatever, people are so worried about burning coal and whatever the environment and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like nuclear energy is like super like environmentally safe. The people are talking about like, oh yeah, anything can make a nuclear reactor go off, and that's not plausible. And then most of the stuff that like scared the shit out of people wasn't even real. Like they made movies about, like the China syndrome, and there's a
Yeah.
couple other weird ones too. But it was weird because they didn't make it seem like, oh, the the reactors and stuff like that itself were scary and bad or whatever. It was always like, oh yeah, whoever runs these machines, these evil energy corporations, like they'll kill people left and right just to keep the energy flowing and making sure they get their chump change and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, it's kind of valid. I mean, it is kind of like a scary thing, but nowadays, I mean, in '99, that doesn't make me, that doesn't sound right to me. I don't know, but
What's the other one that happened over there in where was it? Ukraine,
yeah,
whatever,
there's
or Russia?
Chernobyl.
What? Chernobyl. That one was a different accident that happened there, but that was more like something that just blew up, right, or something.
Yeah, like that was like a massive failure that everybody like was cutting corners. Everybody was just signing off on shit because they didn't want to get, you know, like reported or whatever. Like it's like, do you want to get yelled at work or you just want to like sweep it under the rug? But you're talking about like a nuclear freaking power plant. I watched the Chernobyl thing. That was crazy. That was insane what happened there. But it was just like it was a bunch of stuff that failed that if one person would have just been like, "Oh no, this doesn't look right," it would have fixed. It would have been fine. But everybody was so scared to be like, "Oh hey, we need to shut this down and fix it," that it just never happened. And then what people don't know is only one of the reactors blew up. There was like four, I think there. So one blew up. The other
Supposedly,
three were still working just fine.
but supposedly, even to this day, they always have to go back and restructure something, right? So it doesn't leak or something like that. I heard,
I mean,
or they
there's
gotta go.
people, I'm not really living there, but there's always scientists and stuff like that there. They're always studying
Uh,
it, seeing what the radiation levels are at. I think maybe a couple years ago they
what was
did
weird?
this big thing where they covered it. They had this gigantic
Yeah,
machine,
yeah,
put this
machine,
like,
yeah.
I think they call it sarcophagus. Put this huge sarcophagus thing over it
What
to and that would allow them to go in there and test it and stuff like that if I remember correctly.
what I saw was supposedly that what they were kind of shocked was that the animals, for whatever reason, they're still living there. You know what I mean? Like animals, they
Yeah.
adapted to the environment. You know?
Yeah, there's like I think a documentary out now. Like I think it's called like The Dogs of Chernobyl or something like that. And like how the
Yeah,
dogs their DNA is like changing and all this other weird stuff
yeah, yeah.
and I know they
Yeah,
like
that's
they
weird.
track wolves and cuz they have to make sure that none of the animals get out of there. So they
Right.
keep real like tight leashes, so to speak, on all the animals that are in the area.
Yeah, it's weird. Really weird. All right, continue with the video.
All right.
Very weird.
I mean, I'm just saying nuclear power is not that bad. Like it's a better alternative, but we're also scared to use it. That basically it's been kind of shut down, especially in the United States. And then
Yeah,
people are worried about like the Fukushima. That
yeah,
thing got hit by like a 9.0 earthquake plus like a 300-foot like tsunami wave. And that's what it needed, like two acts of God is what made that thing finally like crack. So I mean, if you're in like a regular coal plant or whatever, and they got hit with just like a storm or something, it would probably fall apart ASAP. I don't know. I'm just talking out my ass now, but
Yeah.
it's just a kind of frustrates me a little bit that even I, watching all those movies, I was like, oh my god, nuclear energy is so scary. Like, why would we ever use it? And then come to find out, it's so much better for the environment. It produces so much more energy compared to like the cost of the waste and all the other stuff.
Wait, so you're saying that if it doesn't have that, it's just more expensive in general?
Yeah,
Or
because the idea is we're just burning stuff. Like
okay,
coal
interesting.
plants, you need coal. It
Yeah,
burns coal. It turns
yeah,
turbines,
yeah,
creates
yeah,
energy. You got the Hoover Dam, stuff like that.
yeah,
But they're not like as efficient.
yeah. That's very interesting.
For 10,000 medical checkups of emergency workers and nearby residents, with some needing hospitalization for excessive radiation exposure. However, thankfully no deaths occurred outside of the lab the technicians were working in. However, Hisashi, Masato, and Yutaka were not so lucky. Aochi had been exposed to 17 SB of radiation, Shinohara 10, and Yukokawa received 3. To put this into perspective, the allowable dose for plant workers was 0.05. The worst affected was 35-year-old Aochi, whose exposure to the radiation was so extreme that most of his body had severe burns and his internal organs were seriously damaged.
Wow.
In addition, his chromosomes were destroyed, and his white blood cell count plummeted
That's
to near
bad.
zero, meaning he
Imagine
had no
getting
immune
exposed
system.
to that type of radiation.
Placed in
That's
a
like
special radiation
you're
ward to
cooked.
limit the risk of infection.
Yeah, literally cooked.
Over the course of
Yeah,
the next few
that's the
weeks,
definition of
he was
being
introduced to
cooked.
various experimental drugs and procedures, including peripheral blood
I
stem
I can't
cell
even imagine what
transplantation,
type of pain he was
heated
in.
cultured skin grafts, and granuloctile colony stimulating
What's
treatment,
horrifying
as well
really
as being
about this is that, and I'm sure he's going to get into it, but I want to talk about it too, is that they kind of forced him to stay alive as long as possible to see the full effects of what radiation would do to somebody.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
during that time, they're also doing experiments on him, seeing if certain things could help.
yeah.
So I think because of the horrific accident, but thanks also to him, I believe they've come up with like new procedures for like
Yeah.
radiation sickness and radiation exposure and stuff like that.
You
So
know,
his death
now that
isn't
we're
completely in vain.
yeah, yeah. You know, talking about radiation, what do you think of like phones like the 5G they used to say the radiation? What do you think of that? Like, do you think that's true to that?
I,
Also, AirPods, supposedly the Bluetooth people have said that shit too. That's another fucking shit.
yeah, I don't know. I think there's a borderline between
Because there's no evidence. Apparently,
conspiracy.
like apparently it is radiation, but it's not. It doesn't affect the body from what I've been seeing. Like, it doesn't really.
See, I've heard a lot of weird things. Like even Wi-Fi supposedly is supposed to be really bad.
Yeah.
Like
You're not
especially
supposed
for
to
like
sleep.
pregnant women, supposedly is like really really
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's weird. I mean, it's we don't know what long terms to be honest. Like we
Do
just
you
don't know
remember
what
the
long.
movie Johnny Mnemonic with Keanu Reeves?
I've seen it, but I don't remember it. But I remember seeing watching that back in the day.
Okay, so in that, I can't remember the name of it, but basically people are kind of like sick and dying, right? And
Okay.
and they don't know why, and they're trying to find a cure for it or whatever. And they say like, what causes it? Like it just happens. Like people start going having seizures and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
the doctor points out it's this, it's this, it's this. He's pointing at all this equipment. He goes,
Yeah.
it's information. It's that our airwaves are polluted by data and stuff like that. And so one of the things I heard
Yeah.
about, like, whatever 5G, 6G, like it is a kind of radiation. It shouldn't be hurting people. But yeah,
Mhm.
putting the phone up to your head supposedly exposes you to that radiation or the RF or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Y- Yeah.
And what's funny is
Yeah.
that Bluetooth's supposed to be better because you're not like, being exposed to the radiation. But then now they're even saying, oh yeah, Bluetooth's kind of like bad for you too. I mean, that's why
Yeah. It's
anytime
kind of
I'm on the phone, unless it's like a private conversation, I always put it on speaker. I always
a
have the
lot of
phone away
people
from my
like,
head.
for example, like these headphones that we have. These are Bluetooth, and we're wearing them all fucking day.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, like these are
People say to use
wireless.
wired. People say to use wired, but
I'm getting a headache right now. It's probably the radiation filtering through my brain.
Yeah, but I mean, it just hasn't been proven. There's just a lot of studies that come out, but it just hasn't. There hasn't been any evidence that links that to that. You know what I mean? To freaking.
I mean, we could look it up later. I'm sure there's something. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
I always feel like, regardless of a conspiracy theory, there's always some facts in it. Like, there's
Yeah, yeah,
something that
some
has
truth to it.
happened.
Yeah, some truth to it. Yeah.
Like, I remember Mythbusters doing something about cell phones starting fires. Do you remember that?
No, I don't
Like,
remember that. What is that
it was
about?
like some kind of urban legend where some guy like answered his phone while he was pumping gas, and somehow the radiation from the cell phone sparked the air and
What
caused
the
the
hell?
caused the gas to explode or something weird like that.
That's
And
crazy.
they went out to prove that it wouldn't happen, but everybody in the whole area was so freaked out that it was going to happen. Like the fire department was there. The fire department told them they had to do all these things in order to make it safe. And so basically they had to put a dummy inside of a fireproof like cage and like all the stuff. Fire department had to be there. They had to pay extra to have more firefighters there because they knew for a fact it was going to blow up.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when they did it, nothing happened. And it was like I was like, what the hell? Like even the co-hosts or the hosts were like, okay, this is a little much. Like this is just I doubt anything is going to happen, but
Yeah.
and they just like had the guy had the dummy in there with a cell phone strapped to his head, I think they just poured gasoline in there into the thing.
Yeah.
That's all they did. Like
That's
you would
weird.
never be in a situation where you're swimming in gasoline and have to answer your
Yeah.
phone. And so
Yeah, yeah.
I think they kept making it worse and worse and worse, seeing if it would ignite, and it never did.
Hmm.
So I don't
Interesting
know.
experiment.
Yeah, it was interesting.
All right, let's finish the video. Say what's the finale to this.
Have you ever like been on your headset and microwave something?
No.
I have.
What is?
You hear it in your headset.
Oh shit.
Like you hear like popping and stuff in your headset.
Now, that's fucking creepy.
Yeah, it's scary as shit.
Yeah, that's scary shit because that shows you that there is a connection of some
Yeah, I mean
sort there.
something is getting out of the microwave and it's
Yeah,
interfering with the headset. So it's
yeah, yeah,
interesting.
yeah. That's
Numerous
interesting.
painkillers and antibiotics. Even though it was clear the damage Ouchie's body had sustained through radiation was untreatable. During the first week of these pointless experiments, Ouchie was conscious enough to tell the doctors, "I cannot take it anymore. I am not a guinea pig." Still, despite his pleas, they continued to treat him, and at the request of his family, doctors repeatedly revived him when his heart stopped.
Hmm.
The poor man was being kept alive against his will when it was clear there was no hope of survival. Almost all of his body had been completely destroyed, and most of his skin was peeled off.
See, I don't feel like you
After
do that
83
to somebody
agonizing
who
days, Ouchie died on
like
December 21st,
had an
1991,
accident. I believe you do
following
that to
an
someone
unexplainable
who
cardiac arrest.
is super fucking
The
negligent
agony
at their
Ouchie
job.
must have been in does not bear thinking about, and to this day, he holds the record for the most radiation experienced by a person who survived the initial dose. But at
Yay!
what cost?
How long did
Keeping
he
him alive when
last,
there was
dude?
no hope of survival.
I wonder how
89
many
One of the
days.
most significant examples
89
of human
days, so
torture
that's
in the
what
20th century. The
that's
ethical
almost 3
values of
months.
prolonged treatment
Yep.
was questioned,
Every 30
received
days, so
criticism.
30, 60, 90. Yeah,
As
so
for the other
almost.
two workers, well, sadly, despite a 7-month battle during which Masoto appeared to be recovering, he died on April 27, 2000,
Oh,
of
okay.
multiple organ failure. He too.
So it
had
did have
undergone
an effect on, but it was just not as much, but it still affected him.
Yeah, I mean his
as
skin
well as a
wasn't peeling
transfusion
off.
from congealed umbilical cord blood, but was still unable to fight the radiation-induced infections and internal bleeding that eventually.
I don't know if you ever
killed him
heard
in
that
2023.
supposedly
Their supervisor, Ryoko,
bananas have radiation, but it's so little. Supposedly, I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah.
And then
You never heard the
that's
joke?
what a joke.
So you can you'd have to eat 10,000 bananas to die from radiation exposure.
What the fuck with the end?
But you'd have to but like, oh yeah, I'm really worried that the radiation exposure from the bananas, not the fact that I have to inhale 10,000 bananas at once.
Damn,
That's
that's a
what I should be
lot.
scared about.
Yeah.
did manage to survive, and was released after 3 months with minor radiation sickness. That's it for this video.
Wait,
As
so
far
one
as
of them this okay, so one of them
Possible.
did survive.
yeah,
Interesting. Out
yeah,
of the three. Okay. Interesting video.
Actually,
Hit those lights.
it doesn't really have like a intro thing. But yeah,
Yes.
I don't know. Radiation is scary, but it's all
Yeah,
around
it is.
us. Our whole
Yeah,
planet
that's the
is
thing.
radioactive.
Yeah, that's the crazy part about it. Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of different radiations, It's funny because I think thanks to like comic books and comic book movies and stuff, like we're learning more about like or like it's more commonplace to know about like gamma radiation. Because you're like, oh yeah, the Hulk, gamma radiation. And then so when they mention like, oh yeah, there was gamma radiation burst in space, everyone's like, oh shit, we're gonna turn into the Hulk. So,
Shit, yeah.
but yeah,
All right.
I don't know.
Hey
I'm
man.
not. I really wish that America would start getting more into power plants and stuff like that because the technology, everything, like it's super safe now. There's no
Wait, so
big.
you're saying so what you're saying is that it's good to have more of those plants everywhere? Of
Yeah,
those So that's what I'm
because
saying. That all this is what I was saying. So that game Sims, Sims, it's called Sims 2000. I don't know, some shit like that. So in that game, I noticed a lot of people what they do. They like creating a lot of like stuff like that, like a bunch of plants, because it's like a city. You got supposed to make a
oh,
city, you know,
right,
and
yeah,
people
yeah,
just
yeah,
make a shit of those plants everywhere. They're just putting them everywhere, and apparently they were saying that it's good to have it. So that's what I was trying to say earlier.
yeah. Like I said, it's a more efficient energy. Environmental wise, it's a lot better than what we currently use.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like now they have I think reactors where like they use a certain fuel source, and then when that fuel
Yeah.
source starts to die out, they can recycle that fuel source and put it into like a secondary reactor,
Oh,
and then it'll
yeah.
completely burn it up. So then there's no more radiation in the material
Right.
anymore. So I mean,
Right.
things have gotten like 10 times safer. And then, like
Than
I said,
before. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I think I don't know. Like I said, I keep hearing different things about the Japanese guy. I heard that he just kind of like screwed around and messed up, like wasn't paying attention, wasn't doing his job right, like
Mm-hmm.
failed to do every single safety thing that would have saved him and his friend's life. He just
Mm-hmm.
like ignored it. But then it's weird because of the procedure. It's like they make it seem like it was so basic. Like get a bucket, put some fissionable material in the bucket. Like what is it supposed to do? Like open up a bag of material, pull it out, throw it in the bucket, then mix it, then pour it into the thing. It makes it sound fucking stupid. I don't know. Sorry, I'm getting like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little heated, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
like
for
that
sure,
doesn't make
you
any
got
sense. Like it didn't
yeah.
seem like it was in a controlled environment. It seemed like it was just in like an office. The guy's just like, "Oh yeah, here I got some fissionable material in my drawer right here. Let me just throw it in there."
Yeah, like it's nothing.
Yeah, like and then it's like he grabbed the wrong kind. Like what? Where is he going to
Yeah, when the
find
thing is
the wrong kind of fissionable material? Like I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense a lot of the stuff, and I think there's a lot of weird things that are being like not necessarily covered up, but I'm sure like people feel fucking stupid and they want to make the guy seem somewhat like a hero. But like I said,
Mhm.
I've already watched things before that said that he was just like didn't give a shit and was super negligent about stuff. So I don't know. I might
Yeah.
be talking shit. I'm sorry if I am, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know I've seen it. So it's like and then like the stories don't make sense. Like, oh yeah, he like had a bucket and he poured the material into the bucket. And it's like, what?
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
would you
That
be
doesn't
in
make
like $1 million facility making churning out nuclear power and you're mixing shit in a bucket? It
I feel
doesn't
like
make
anything
sense.
I feel like anything that you're playing with that type of you know, radiation, you got to be super careful. So, remember that movie kind of reminds me a little bit of that movie 12 Monkeys. Remember when, at the end when he's trying to throw like that freaking virus? It's crazy. Like that little he's so afraid to like open it. I don't know if you've seen that part. At the
Oh,
end, I
at
think
the
it was at
very
the
end?
end.
Yeah, where he
Yeah,
like
like he's so careful just to like. So I'm assuming radiation's kind of like that, right? Or no? What's a completely different?
I
Like you
don't
can't
know.
really like.
I feel like people when you, God, it's so weird because I feel like there are people who are like, oh yeah, radiation, you can see it, but you can't.
Unless you have one of those machines, right? Like one of those
I mean, you still can't
machines that
really
you...
see it. See it.
No, no, no,
You
not
can
see it, but I mean
detect it.
you can detect it. Yeah, like
Yeah, but you can't like see it. See it. In fact, I
you know
think
that's
they just did an experiment where they were able actually to see the radiation coming off of I think they had to put the material into like a vacuum and put smoke in there or something like that, and they were able to actually see like the radiation bands coming off of like the material. But like you couldn't
I,
see it in real life.
I wonder like if you have one of those detection machines, put it on the Wi-Fi to see what type of,
Oh yeah, it would
you
go
know,
off.
it'll probably go off for sure.
There's always background radiation.
Yeah, yeah.
Always. Like you could
How
turn
far are you
everything
from
off.
your how far are you from your Wi-Fi?
Um, I mean technically I've got a like a what you calls it right here, like a extender.
But do you sleep next to a Wi-Fi or no?
No,
Okay.
but I sleep with my phone pretty close to me.
Yeah, me too. That's radiation too. And you know what's crazy? They were saying that supposedly even if you turn off your phone still does radiation.
Yeah, I mean, it
That,
always has signal and stuff, but
that's crazy. I was like, that,
people were trying to like prove weird stuff, like they were bringing Geiger counters onto airplanes, and then like I'm like, but you don't you don't understand when a plane goes above like 20,000 feet, the plane is being exposed to solar radiation. So they're like, oh yeah, there's a radioactive cloud right here, and the Geiger counter starts going off. I'm like, bro, you're over 20,000 feet. You're getting more. You're seeing more of the background radiation. Like from the sun and stuff like that. It's like, but they say even
interesting.
that's bad for you. Flying really high in an airplane is supposedly really bad for you.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember they talking about
What's
the Air Force. They tell the guys in the Air Force if you plan on having a kid, you need to let them
to not
know.
travel?
Yeah, like
Uh,
you're not allowed to travel for a certain amount of time because
it's like
they go up really high and they get exposed to the radiation, and if they have a kid, the kid might have developmental issues.
um what's up with that? On have you noticed on your phone it says airplane mode? Why do they have that shit? Is
To
that
make
connected to any radiation
I don't
or
know, I
no?
think it's just there to make people on airplanes feel good about themselves.
Yeah, because they're like, turn that shit on. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, the idea is that your phone is somehow going to screw up some airplane machine, some $1 billion radar
But
machine, and
but you got
the
to think about it.
plane's
Does
going to crash.
everybody? But does everybody actually press that? I doubt it. You
I
know,
doubt it.
or
I don't think you
I'm
need
pretty
to.
sure some of them are without the freaking. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's for everybody's safety, and if you don't do what they say, they'll just throw your ass out in the middle of the Atlantic. Any other questions?
No, I think that's it. I think
Questions,
we're done here.
concerns, radiations?
It was a good video.
Yeah, it was a good
It's a
video.
good
We
video.
kind of like hit like a big spectrum of things. We had ghosts, we had radiation stuff, we had what else have we had? Farm boy. Oh, this one was weird. The
Oh, okay. So
paraquat
there.
killer.
So I'm reading right here. The purpose of that airplane mode is that when you disable it, it doesn't interfere with the navigation system or the communication systems of the plane. So interesting. That's what that airplane mode does.
I mean, I know that's what it does, but I mean, it's like
That's interesting.
I don't
So that
know
means
how
that
real it is.
the navigation, yeah, yeah, prevents interference. So it prevents that.
Hmm.
Interesting. All right, not bad. Move on to the next chapter.
Next chapter. All right, thank you everybody for joining us. We've been the Eerie Cast. Please like and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.
Later, everyone.